Howdy friends. For a previous video I had mentioned to you guys that I had crashed in the summertime on the track as a result of my K&N oil filter exploding. And in this video I just wanted to tell you guys the story, me and my interactions with the K&N company as a result of the crash, why I did the things that I did, and then the end result. So let's go ahead and roll into the intro. So I'll throw a little clip in here of the crash as a result of the K&N filter. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the K&N filter, they add a feature onto the end of the filter, which is a very cool feature, but as it turns out, a faulty feature. And what they do is they weld a hex nut onto the end of it with a hole in it. So multiple things. Number one, you can help get the filter off at the end of the day. You can, get on there, use the nut to help remove the filter. Now I've heard mixed reviews as well about people saying that they use that to torque the filter on. I've heard people say that you're not supposed to do it. I've heard people say that that's how you torque it. The end result is I think you're not really supposed to, but I think that's a fairly hard thing to tell people when you put a nut on the end of it for people not to use the nut. I've always been a person just to hand tighten my filter. Just put it on and tighten it as hard as you can with your hands. And that usually works for me. Another great feature of the K&N filter is they give you a hole through the hex nut so you can safety wire for the track or anything or if you just want to safety wire it for your own protection. But the flaw to it appears to be is the manufacturing of the filter. Mine specifically came out of Taiwan, and I'm also assuming it comes out of other various countries. Well, if that's not done exactly right, it appears that there seems to be a flaw where that weld can give way or break free, and now you've got a hole in your filter. Under high pressure, it now becomes a water fountain or an oil fountain. And that's exactly what happened with me at the track. I was going 140 miles an hour down the backstretch, and that weld gave out and it started shooting oil everywhere, all over my headers, all over my tires. And as you can imagine, when you get oil on your tires, not a good day. With the backstory kind of outlaid there, afterwards I did go down. It wasn't a serious crash, but a crash nonetheless, as a result of the negligence of K&N. So I get onto the web, do a little Google search just to see if anyone else has had this same issue. Holy, did I find a lot of reports of this exact same issue happening. I found a few recalls of other filters, and they are very, 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 very specific in the recall that it says specifically no other filters are affected by that recall. So they were just very specific about a date range, a country of origin, and the type of filter. So my filter was not on a recall, but it did the same thing that they were claiming these other filters were doing. Here's my problem with that. If I had an isolated incident where this just somehow I got a faulty filter, I'm not going to hold K&N responsible. Sometimes that's just, you get unlucky, and those things can happen. But when there's a issue that appears to be a known issue that they're refusing to recall and inherently putting out a dangerous product, I crashed. If I had been on the street, if I had been in a corner, it would have been way worse than it was. I got really, really lucky, but nonetheless, still very, very, very dangerous. So I reached out to K&N saying, hey, your faulty product caused me to crash. And then listed a list of the damages to my motorcycle, to my riding gear. None of it very severe, but damages nonetheless. So I just said, hey, this is what happened. Here's a picture of the filter. Here's a picture of my tires. I didn't send them the video. I was gonna save that just to hear what their response was. I get an email back with a letter from the warranty department, legal department of K&N, and a form that basically had a list of, like, I don't know, 15 or so things that they wanted from me. Information, pictures, etc. And she said, just fill this out, give me all the information back. She says, I need every single piece of information. Don't leave anything blank. We'll review it and get back with you. Some of the questions they asked was they wanted all the filter information, country of origin, date range, serial number. They wanted the invoice, where I bought the filter from, essentially just as much information as they could get from the filter. Then they had me order a oil test kit from Blackstone Labs, which test kit was free. I just had to wait for it to be shipped, and that they were going to pay for the oil to be tested. They needed high resolution pictures of everything that I claimed to be damaged, along with an invoice or estimate of the cost to replace all the damaged property. They needed my personal information. They also sent me a UPS prepaid shipping label, as they wanted me to ship the oil filter back to them so that they could do some testing. I did all of that, but they did not send me the UPS shipping, prepaid shipping thing right away. So I did all of the information that they want. I sent it back to them, all the pictures. Essentially, I had, just so you guys are aware, what I claimed was the bar end, the right side fairing, my helmet didn't take a significant impact, but if you crash in a helmet, they say you're supposed to replace it. So as a result, I put it down that I needed to replace my helmet. So right side fairing, bar end, my boot, the slider on the boot broke, so I put that down, and that was pretty much it. Oh, and the tire, I asked her to have them replace the tire because it had oil all over it and I didn't want to reuse it. I sent that off to them. No response, nothing. So I waited a little while because I figured, you know, maybe they had to take some time to review it. I wasn't sure of their process. So a couple weeks go by and I called the lady whose information responded to me. She had her cell phone or her extension listed in the email. So I called it, didn't get an answer, left a voicemail, still no response. So then I sent an email saying, hey, just looking to know what the status is, what our next step is, etc. She responds back with, we reviewed your claim, everything seems to be okay. I'm going to send you a general release form, which essentially is a form that says we're not going to accept responsibility, but we're going to pay you for the claimed damages. So they're basically just CYA, cover your ass, and make sure that I can't go after them any further, and that the amount that they're paying is for all damages. I can't go back and claim more damages after the fact. I can't be involved in a class action lawsuit because they're not accepting responsibility and they've actually paid for the damages, etc. It's just a general lawyer cover-up saying, yes, we know we're responsible, but we're not going to say we're responsible, and after we do this, you can't come back after us any further. Basically the gist of what I got from when I read it. She said, as soon as you send that back to me, I will move forward with getting you a check issued for the amount claimed. I was like, wow, that was fairly painless. So she sent me the release, I signed it, scanned it, sent it back. They also want you to mail it back, which is on your dime, but it's just a piece of paper. I send the release back, and then she comes back and she says, oh, I made a mistake for the wrong amount. I need you to sign another general release, which the difference was like literally like $8. It was actually $8 more because they didn't include the price of the filter itself, which apparently I get reimbursed for, which is a cool, nice feature that they came back with. So she added the extra $8 for the filter, and resent another general release with the updated amount on the claims, asked me to sign it and send it back. Then she comes back and says, oh, I also just realized you actually never sent in the filter, so before I could actually send you out the check, I need the filter to be sent. So I sent back, I said, you never sent out the prepaid shipping? She's like, I apologize. And then she got me out the prepaid shipping and I shipped it off. I have yet to receive the check that they promised me, but in all fairness, the filter alleged to have been delivered just yesterday, so I don't anticipate that being an issue. So I anticipate that within the next week or so, they will have issued me a check and sent it off in the mail. And all is well, which is actually a better experience than I had anticipated. I probably could have gone after more damages. I could have gone after tire balancing, tire mounting. I could have gone after them for the track day that I got shorted on because of the crash. Maybe even the guy that was behind me that was shorted because of the crash. Probably some other minor damages. I probably could have got my suit paid for again because I crashed in it when I shouldn't have. But all those things, you know, are the shorted track day wasn't that big of a deal. It was the very last session of the day. I didn't want to push my luck because I didn't know how this was going to go. I wanted to keep the damages reasonable and at a minimum because I really didn't want to have to go to court or fight them. I just wanted them to realize your guys' negligent product, because they're legitimately negligent, because there is a history of problems with these types of filters, caused me to crash. You guys owe me for the actual property damage that you caused. They get a documented case for them, so they get the beneficial, they get the filter back so they can do more testing and hopefully try to resolve the problem that they're having. I get a little bit of coin to help replace some of the damaged property, replace my helmet, replace the fairing and bar end, and my boot. It kind of all worked out for everyone in the end. And again, I kept the cost very reasonable, but I just wanted to go ahead and document that with you guys and let you guys know my process and how that went down in case any of you guys have had a similar issue with K&N. My recommendation is, you know, as long as you still have everything. They were very, very, very adamant about the fact that I needed to make sure that I still had the filter, the oil, and everything. So if you still have all of that, then you can contact their warranty claims department. I think it's warranty at knfilters.com, and just document the issue. I think people should do that because they need to know what products are failing. So sure, it may have cost them $1,500 in my case, but again, that's very likely insurance that's going to pay it for them. But they get the documented case of a problem filter, so A, they can help resolve the issue. B, if it's a really known faulty failure, that they can do an actual recall and get other filters back and off the market so other people don't have the same problem. That's all I have for you. That's all I wanted to talk about today. As always, guys, I always appreciate those who are still here and those who support the channel just by viewing, commenting, liking the video. Hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post new content. And as always, guys, stay safe out there. Keep that rubber side down. Don't forget to always enjoy the moment. Oh, she almost merged into me. Didn't enjoy that moment. And until the next video, we'll catch you guys later. I feel like I owe you guys a wheelie somehow in this video. I just don't see an opportunity for a wheelie. Should have done at least one this morning before I went to work. You know what they say, a wheelie a day. Okay, bye.